welcome back to Reality Renewed. Today we have the wonderful Liz Krueger. I said that right?
You did.
I'm so proud of myself.
Some people pronounce it Krieger if you're from Wisconsin.
Really? Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's other Krugers, and they're like, it's actually Krieger. I said, no, it's Krueger.
I know, it's my name.
Yep.
Well, I'm so happy to have you on the podcast today. I want to let you know I did wash my hair for you, which is a big deal because if you've watched the other podcasts, I look back and I'm like, wow, that is really slicked back.
Dirty hair.
With hair grease. So I did wash my hair for you because I was so excited for you to come on because obviously everyone loves you and so I needed to wash my hair for you.
And I didn't for you, but that's okay.
But you always look adorable and your hair looks amazing. Yeah. And I also appreciate that we texted earlier and we're like, we are going to do the workout look.
Yes.
Because we're so sporty.
Yeah, exactly.
And I appreciate that because it's comfortable and we're here.
Exactly. I was like, we're doing casual, right?
Yes, we absolutely are. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
I'm so glad this worked out.
Me too.
Cheers.
45 minutes late. I think I was here.
No, it was so perfect.
Minneapolis summers.
Minneapolis summers are insane. But anyways, for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where to begin? So I am a 41-year-old mom in Minneapolis. I'm from Minnesota, but southern Minnesota. Small town. I'm not a small town girl at all. Went to school in Milwaukee, lived in Australia for a little bit.
I lived in Australia for a little bit too.
What city?
Brisbane.
Oh, I was in Sydney. Oh my gosh.
Love Australia so much.
Same.
I mean, we could have a whole podcast about Australia, but
for sure.
I digress.
Yes.
This is motherhood, by the way.
Yep.
Thing $4.
Should you tip the DoorDash driver? My 9-year-old is ordering DoorDash right now. And
from McDonald's.
From McDonald's.
Probably
sure,
getting...
That's fine. All right. Bye. Thank you. Anyways, motherhood on a podcast.
Exactly. This is it. This is it right here. I'm like, order us 4 fries and
a cheeseburger.
But yeah, so I went to Australia, moved back here. Then I went back. I went to California for a little bit, moved back.
Okay, Avery, bye. Go.
And then I went back and actually went to cosmetology school at Aveda.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just like I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do something I love. And I was always that girl that was like doing makeup and hair. And so I went back and did that, was in that industry for a little bit. And then what did I do? I got into the fitness industry. Loved that. So I started managing some fitness studios. And then I got into sales and then into events. So I got thrown into the influencer bucket in like 2016, which feels 10 years ago, which is crazy. And I was attending like all of these events and I was like, I'm kind of not wanting to go to these things. They're not that exciting. Like I'm so I was like, I think I'm going to create my own events company. So I started an experiential events company while I was in my sales job around like sex, beauty, just like a lot of like taboo topics that, bringing things to life. We did like burlesque. We did, what else do we have? We had drag queen bingo. We were just doing like this like fun stuff and like where you left and you actually met new friends and had a great time with other women.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. And then I started working and then somebody from Lululemon found me and I have now been with them for 7 years curating events in the wellness space.
So fun.
Yeah, and I've now been on maternity leave for 7 months. So I feel like a little out of pocket with like all of the social things. I've been like very mom mode right now. And in 2016 to 2019, I feel like I was so social. And now I feel like I'm a little bit more removed, a little bit more in my mom role. But I really love it. Like I think it's like part of my purpose that I didn't know I was supposed to have. I probably could have had no kids and lived a very fulfilled, fun life, but now that I have 2, I'm like, oh, this is the best. This is everything I ever wanted. So
oh, that's amazing. And did you meet your husband in the cities?
We met at Hollister and Abercrombie. Back in the day.
I'm fully aware. I loved the grouping.
Yeah, when it was the place to work and the place to be now. It's probably, you know, people are probably
actually, Abercrombie is making a comeback.
It's true. They sell black now. They've got all these fun things.
I mean, my daughters love Abercrombie.
Yeah.
I actually think Abercrombie's great.
Yeah. It's just not as sexy as it was.
Remember those models?
Oh my gosh. And the role that my husband was at the time was called a model, but they were just salespeople that folded clothes, but like they hired based on looks, which is, you can't really do that anymore. And I was an assistant manager. I always say I was in a management role at Hollister. And he just told my daughter the other day, like, oh yeah, you know, I got that job so I can meet girls and met your mom. So it worked out. Yeah. So we've been married. It'll be 13 years in September. So long time. So we were in the same friend group, and then we got together as a couple later. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that seems like another lifetime ago working retail at Hollister.
Yes, but that was the place.
It was the place. So to everybody watching, it was the place.
I think they're
yeah.
back.
I don't even know what Hollister's up to these days, but Abercrombie for sure is.
Yeah, Hollister. Do you remember that scent?
Do I ever? We had to spray the mannequins every 30 minutes with like 15 spray. There was like a formula for it.
I just remember going in there and you would be like,
yeah, it'd be dark and you'd be like, is that a small or a large?
And the smell, you'd be like, wow, it is strong in here.
I know. I probably just like got everybody high and was like, yep, buy all the things. Buy all the things.
Yes, that was it was so cool to shop there.
So.
And then you went on to so you have 2 girls now.
Yes.
Girl mom.
Girls, it's the best. It's what I always wanted. And I would have been happy with anything, but it just feels very right. Like I'm we wore the casual stuff today, but I can get glam and I love girly stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, I just think would be great for me.
Yes. 1000%.
Yeah. So I was really excited. I was 35. It was my 35th birthday. And I was like, we had like talked about it obviously, but we had never been like actively trying to be like, let's start a family. But I'm like, I'm 35. If we're going to do this, we should probably just see what happens.
Yeah.
We got pregnant very soon. Like it was like 2 weeks into the pandemic. My birthday was in February. The pandemic, what was that? March 17th is when everything shut down. So we found out end of March that I was pregnant, and I was like, oh gosh. And this is when we thought it was just like a 2-week shutdown, whatever. Gosh. So I was like, okay. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I'm going to like be going to all of my appointments alone. I'm going to be like not around anybody, and I'm so social. So this is going to suck. So I was kind of like.
I was pregnant with Penny during the same. Yes. It was not enjoyable.
No.
But I would wonder, like, for the first, that probably was a little bit daunting, right?
Yes. Now, it's like, I think about it in 2 ways. I'm like, if I would have had one and then done that, it probably would have been worse. I'd be like, oh, this is not as exciting or joyful or whatever. But because I also didn't know any different.
Totally.
But I was also, like, mentally not probably very good. I always say, like, my first trimester, I was like, I felt, looking back, I just cried a lot. I think I was, like, depressed. I just was like... And then George Floyd stuff was happening. There was just like a lot happening. Yes. And I was just like constantly crying. I was sick. And then with work, doing events, I wasn't doing that. We were working from home. So I was just isolated.
Like a lot all at once.
Yes. It was kind of like, okay, so this is what it is.
Yes.
But I like joined a virtual moms group, I remember. And I was like, I still have friends from that group because it was such a thing. Like we were all so in it together. Yes. So, so that pregnancy was great. It was just odd because Dan couldn't come to anything. Like I'd have appointments and they didn't let you like record, but I would just go on Zoom and then like record it because they'd be like, you're not supposed to record. And I'm like, this is my pregnancy. Like we're doing this. Like, like he can't be here.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it. So we got around things that way. And then it was like, I think it was November. Or no, I got really sick in October. And I didn't know if I had COVID. I didn't test. I just like stayed home. And then in November, before I delivered, they were like, we need to test you for COVID before whatever. It came back positive. And I was like, it was a month ago. Like I remember being sick. And they're like, well, now you need to quarantine for 10 days. And if you still come back, you're going to have to be on a special COVID floor. And everybody's going to have to be in PPE. And you can't leave. And I was like, this is my nightmare.
Oh my
I was like, and I promised you like... but I was 10 days. So I did that for 10 days. I ended up going to 41 weeks in 3 days. So I was late.
Yeah.
And then my doula got exposed to somebody, so she couldn't be there. So I'd have this backup doula. And I was like, yeah, here we go.
We're doing it.
Here we go. This tracks. This is what's happening.
But Dan could be in the room, right?
He could. Yes, he could.
Because I remember that was like, but did you have to wear a mask the whole time?
Well, I thought I was going to have to, but my doula was like, actually, that is the patient's right to not. So I was like,
I had to literally like wear a mask, and then I'm trying to push. I'm like, after a while, I was like, fuck this.
Oh my, so you had it on your face?
Yes, but I pulled it down. I was like, I can't,
No, you can't breathe at all. I was throwing up so much, so good luck keeping a mask on my face. I would have just been vomiting through the mask. But I was like, my doula, thankfully, she was like, here's some things that,
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I had this doula, and I was in labor for 43 hours.
Stop it.
It was, and then I got to 9 centimeters because I had to induce me, and then I had to have a C-section because I just kept waiting and waiting. And then when they delivered her, she was stuck behind my pelvis, so she would have never like engaged anyway. So I was like, oh my gosh. So it was labor. I was like, okay, we did that.
You sure did.
Yeah. So I'm like, I experienced everything. Like my epidural didn't really work. I had like my back seized up. It was just one of those things. I was like swearing, like I'm gonna die. I was just like. So it wasn't like a traumatic birth for me, but my husband was like, this is not what the movies are like. I go, no, they're not. Sure not. But it was great. She was born like healthy. And then from there, we just, she was about 2.5 when we decided like, maybe we should start trying again. And so then we kind of went into phase 2, which was not as swift as our first child. So, we started naturally trying and like tracking like ovulation and all of that. And I actually got pregnant when she was 2.5. And I found out on Christmas that I was pregnant, and I was like so excited. And then I went in January and I had miscarried. So I was like, okay, and we had been trying for a while and things. So when I did get pregnant, I was like, oh, this is great. This is happening. And then this girl that I'm acquaintances with on social media was like, I don't know if you've looked into this, but you can go get a workup done, like figure out like your follicle count, like your AMH, like all of this stuff, just to get a baseline idea of like what's happening in your body, because I was 37 at the time. And then she was like, and also IUI, which is intrauterine insemination. Basically, I always just say it's like sex in the doctor's office with the nurse while your husband watches, because it's like they inseminate you, but it's like $2,500. So it was like kind of like a, like if you don't want to do IVF or go this, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like make a consultation. So that's I did at a clinic, make a consultation. I was like, well, might as well just try it if we weren't getting pregnant. So then, which I've found out now, like many people don't get pregnant through IUI, but I did on my first try. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great.
Yes.
And then I miscarried again at 8 weeks. And so I was like, and I just remember being so sad, like so heartbroken, because it had been already like a year or something. And I'm like, I don't want to do more rounds, because I always say like at least try like 3 rounds of IUI. And I'm like, that's a lot. It's like a lot of like timing things out, then the weight, and then if you do get pregnant to like miscarry again, like there's no test. You can't test anything. It's just, mixing the sperm with an egg that's already in your body. Right. So then that's when we started exploring IVF. And at that point, it was like the cost is obviously a lot. And you're like, okay. And I had unexplained infertility, so there's not like a reason for it for me. They think maybe I have lean PCOS, but I don't have like, I didn't have the weight gain. I didn't have like irregular periods. I didn't have facial hair, like all of these like things that people have with PCOS. I just had the numbers of my egg count was just like really high. So they're like, this might be the reason. So I started doing IVF, and gosh, I'm like, my timeline, it's all a blur, but
I'm sure.
I'm like, I think you kind of after, it's like kind of when you have kids, you're like, blackout, and you're like, I don't need to know all the details of all the things I went through to get here. I'm just happy that they're here.
Right.
Yeah. But, so I did IVF, got 3 embryos. This was a whole crazy thing too. It's like at my first round, I went in to get my transfer done, and they were like, your first embryo didn't make it, and the thaw. And I was like, what? So then I'm like crying. So I'm like, I was so excited, but I'm like, okay, so now we only have 2. And so then they transferred that one, and you wait to see if you're pregnant. And I was pregnant, which was really exciting and great and all of that. And then we went to all of our regular appointments. My husband could now, come to the appointments. And then it was my 16-week appointment. And I was like, I don't know. I think I was just like nervous because I'd had so many miscarriages that I just had like, you just never feel content,
Yeah, right.
Because I try not to like put blame on you can't make things happen, right? That happened to you. But I went in for my 16-week appointment, and they were doing like the ultrasound of my stomach, and they couldn't find a heartbeat. And then they were doing like a sonogram, and they could see the baby, but because of the head position, they couldn't see like the heart. So then she's like, I'm gonna have to go get the ultrasound tech to see if she's here. And I'm like, I'm like, this isn't good. Like, I was like, this is not good. And like, he wasn't even gonna come to the appointment with me, because like 16 weeks at 4 months, you're kind of like, it's just like, you're just gonna go in.
Right.
And then we went in, and like, there was not a heartbeat.
Oh gosh.
So I was like devastated. Like, I had never been like, so like, I was just kind of like out of body. I was crying. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Like, the nurse
that was 16 weeks, that's a far.
And with IVF, it's like, that's 4, you know, the day you're getting pregnant. And then so I was pregnant for 4 months. And I was just, and I was showing like a lot. And so it was one of those things where I'm like, what is actually happening? Like, I got prescribed like meds to sleep like that day. I got anxiety meds that day. And I'm usually a very chill person, but I was like,
I literally can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
Like, and the nurse that day was so amazing. And the crazy thing is this nurse, fast forward me having my baby, or no, I was like at the end of it, she was like, I didn't want to ever make this about me. But that day that you miscarried, she goes, I was also pregnant 8 weeks, and I went into, because she's like, I work at the clinic, so I always do ultrasound. And she's like, and I miscarried the same day
Stop
you did it. And I was like, full chills. She was like, I wanted to call you that day, but she's like, I knew how sad you were, but I didn't want to make you more sad. But she was like, I just felt so much less alone. I'm like, I can't believe
my gosh.
It was
I
like
have chills.
Wild. So,
oh my gosh.
But she was just like a blessing.
Yeah. It's my DoorDash McDonald's. We're keeping McDonald's in business just in case you're curious.
We could get sponsored.
This should get sponsored by McDonald's. Just so you know,
this episode. Fun fact: in IVF, the day of your transfer, you eat McDonald's French fries to make it stick. And tomorrow is Friday, which is the McDonald's fry day that all the IVF women like. You go and you get your transfer, and there's something with the salt and whatever is in McDonald's fries that is supposed to like help like your embryo stick.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's a little like,
oh my gosh, this is a full circle moment. Because I will be honest, like, trust, I am by no means like a health nut with my kid, but like they don't order McDonald's that much, much less my 9-year-old's never physically DoorDashed from my phone McDonald's to herself. So what? Maybe it was the cardinal.
And she fed me a fry.
And she fed you a fry. And there was a cardinal.
Yeah.
Okay, this is weird.
Yeah. So tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, so people will like on their transfer day, because they give you a Valium.
Oh.
So you're feeling real good.
Yes.
And then they're like, go home, take a rest, go get your fries. So like people go to McDonald's, and then like people in their family the same day will also like go get fries, and like
no way.
Yeah, so it's like a McDonald's, and it's McDonald's fries specifically that are like the thing. So
that is I never knew that.
I know, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until we were like, but yeah.
But also I never knew that like that was a thing with IVF, like go get McDonald's.
Yeah, and we don't, it's like all the things like you drink pomegranate juice, the there's a bunch of little like things you can do to, hope that your embryo sticks. But the fry thing is across the internet.
Okay, so. That's amazing. I also think the thing with IVF let's just go back. So obviously 16 weeks.
Yeah.
That must have been really fucking hard.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I like, it took me longer to heal from. And even now, I feel like sometimes I'll cry a lot, but sometimes it's one of those things that's just like, it's right here all the time when I talk about it. Because it's like, when you've carried a baby and like, you know, like everything,
Yes.
you know, and she had a name. Her name was Winslow Hart was her name.
I love
So,
that name. And
it
was a girl.
Yeah. So it was like, that was really devastating to me because I had like miscarried 2 boys before. And every time I had like.
So are they able to see the sex when you miscarry?
You can, for Winslow, yes. For the other 2, I did like the sneak peek blood test where you like send it to your house and you can do it by like 8 weeks or whatever.
Okay,
So
yeah.
some people will dispute that it is or isn't, but
I think it's pretty accurate.
I'm like, if it's in your blood,
yeah,
I don't know what else it would be.
Exactly,
yeah.
Totally.
So, but with her, because with her, they asked me if I wanted to deliver her or have surgery, and I was like, no way am I delivering this baby. Like, I was like, I'm ready. And I have like regrets about that, but I've also talked to a mom whose baby had the same thing mine did. She died because of a stricture in the umbilical cord. So it's like the umbilical cord just tightens in a section that doesn't allow blood flow. So it's like a healthy baby, but it's the development of the umbilical cord. And it's like a 1% thing.
Gosh.
So I was like, I can't deliver this baby. And I've talked to mom and she delivered and it was like really hard and really painful. And I think that probably would have been a whole other thing.
Yes.
But they delivered, or they took her out. My doula was with me, thank God. She was with me and my husband. It was like a very emotional like day. They let them come into the OR and like we all put our hands on our stomach and said goodbye. And it was like one of those things out of a movie where you're like, is this my life?
Yes.
Because I already had a D and C, and then this was a D and E, which is a dilation and evacuation, which not all doctors. I know it's like a dilation curettage is what the D&C is, and like most doctors, OBs can do that, but a D and E is a dilation evacuation, and not all doctors are certified to do anything in the second trimester or beyond.
Oh, sure.
So like it wasn't even my OB that did it; it was a different doctor, but she was amazing. So.
Because you had a C-section before, or did they have to do that?
No, they did vaginal, and they basically just removed the baby and anything else that's in there. And like my doula was amazing, so I was like, can you please get pictures? And people that this hasn't happened to might be like, that's really fucking weird.
No.
But I was like, I want to like, but at that point, no, I don't want to say dismember, it doesn't sound good, but the baby does not come out in full. It's like, you know, so it's like, but she got pictures of her hands and her feet and all of that for me. So it was like very, very like sweet that at least I had that of like, I'm like, this was a fully developing baby that was, you know, there. So just kind of made it feel real for me. Because it's like, as a mom, if you deliver a baby and you never got to meet your baby,
I can't.
It doesn't even make sense.
I can't even.
You know, it's like you had a baby, but you didn't. So that part was tough for me, and that's one thing I'm like, oh, it's like really sad that you don't get to meet, but they don't want you to see the baby because it's not in good form, which I understand.
Yes, absolutely.
But, and then this mom that I met on the internet who had the same thing, she was very sweet, and again, this might sound weird to people who this hasn't happened to, but she was like, do you want to see my son? And I was like, yeah, I actually do, because babies, you know, in utero all look the same, so I would know what she would look like. And so she sent me a picture of her son. And so I was like, okay, that's what I would have, you know.
Yes.
It's just like a wild thing. And there were moments where I'm like, what am I doing? This is so whatever. And I'm like, no, this is like helping me heal.
At 1,000%. And I'm like, no one can judge you for anything that you've gone through. Oh, look at Daisy. Yeah, okay, she's just saying hi. No one can, that's how I feel. It's like no one can judge you for anything that you have gone through, because they have not had your experience.
No.
And it's like you know, I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine going through that.
And it's so emotional. Like, it's like, you know, it's like your logical brain's not, you're like, this is my baby that I wanted, you know, and it's like after even everything we had been through, I was like, and then we did, again, thanks to my doula, Stephanie from How To Mom. She's incredible. She's been with me with like my miscarriages, with all the things, and then she facilitated the cremation of our baby. So we like, you know, we didn't have to have those conversations. Like, she did all of that, and like we went out and picked her up. So yeah, it was just like we wanted to treat it with like respect and like reverence. Like, and then I was like, I can't go back to work, so I took a 3-month leave, and that was another thing that was just like a fight to get like insurance to like let you, and that was like another like layer to like the trauma of that kind of stuff. Like you're like, I'm not well.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm not lying. Like I'm not well, and this is like what's happening to me.
And
so,
you just lost your child.
Right. And you're like talking to a man on the phone, and I'm like, okay, deep breaths here.
Yes,
but
exactly.
And our therapist is a man, but he had to like send like pages of notes, and my doctors had to send, so that was a whole thing.
Which how they make that so hard is just a whole other. I mean, that's just crazy.
Totally. Like I didn't get paid until like I was done with the leave. Like it was like and I'm like, this is supposed to be short-term disability, so I can feel like I can like grieve.
Yes,
but it was
not.
And then I had yet another like gut punch. I've spoken about this briefly, and I can't give like all details because of the scenario, but 2 weeks after my miscarriage, we had one embryo left, and I was like, I'm going to go get a facial. I'm just going to like feel good. But when you do IVF, you can know the grade of your embryo. You can know like, if it's good, if it's bad, or whatever. We had one embryo left, but we had never had a conversation with our doctor about the third embryo because we were like, we have 3. Why would we ever need the third? Or we weren't there yet anyway.
Right.
And so I called the clinic and was like, hey, like, could you please send me like information so I can do my own research on this last embryo? And the girl on the other end of the phone was like, you don't have any embryos here. And I was like, what? Mind you, I just had like miscarried, like, and I was like, so I like texted my husband, and I was like, they are telling me that they don't have an embryo, or we don't have any embryos. And I was like, then I told her I'm going in to get a facial, so I won't be available for the next hour. So I get out of the facial, and like my head was just like kind of like spinning.
Yes.
And then I had the clinics in my phone, but then there was a number from a name that I didn't know. So I just like called back, and they were like, hi, like, I'm so sorry. And they just kept like started apologizing. And I was like, what? And they were like, we discarded your embryo. And this was the lab director who did this, and was like, and they just kept like apologizing. And I was like in so much shock that I was like, oh no, it's okay. Like I was like, I don't even know what I was saying. And he was like, but your doctor said that they would have never recommended transferring that one. And I was like, no, like it's frozen for a reason, you know? So I was just kind of like hung up the phone, and I was like, what in the actual, and like my husband was like, obviously probably more in his logical brain, like really upset. And the next day my doctor like called me and was like, we do not take this lightly. Like because there's normally 4 steps of protocol that you like say what you like, you need to like verbally, you need to have something written and notarized. They usually call you, and then there's usually like 2 embryologists on it. So they decided to skip all. So it was like my last one, like out the window. So I had like just lost our baby.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a movie.
What was the reasoning?
There was a miscommunication that to this day I don't know the reason. But yeah, so I had to make so this was in October, and
of what year?
This was, oh my God.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it was 2023. And I was like, okay. So then that year, actually, my company was going to start covering IVF costs starting like October 17th. And this was like October 11th or something crazy. So then I'm in my head going, okay, so am I going to like literally start another cycle of like for a retrieval? And like when you start IVF, anybody that's done it, you're like, I'm going to do 1 retrieval because that's really hard, a lot of injections. I'm going to get all the embryos, and we're just going to be, and I had 3.
Well, that's the thing. I think people don't talk about, I mean, I've had a couple friends go through it.
Yeah.
I don't think people actually talk about how hard IVF is.
Yes.
It's not like this is some like easy thing. I mean,
no.
It's a lot of prep.
Yeah.
And then when you're actually have that, right?
It's like all the meds, all like the schedule, like you become a nurse, like you're like, I'm just injecting myself. Okay.
Yes.
And then the meds make you feel crazy because it's like hormones, or like when you're doing retrievals, you get so bloated because your follicles, like normally when you have your period, you get when you ovulate, you have 1 follicle and then you release 1 egg. But for me, like I had 44 eggs, so I had 44 follicles like filled with fluid.
Oh, did you just feel awful?
Oh, you just, cause I went to, they call it stimming, when you're stimulating follicles. I went for 12 days. And by the end of 12 days, you're like, and mind you, you're at work. You're like trying to like focus on life, but you're like doing multiple injections. You're feeling terrible.
And you also have a kid.
And you also have a kid. So it was like, there's just like so much, and like the mental load of it. And then after everything that I had already gone through, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this again.
Right.
But I was like, I had to also make the decision because I had reached my out of pocket, you know, for the year because of all my surgeries. So I was like, if I want to do this, like I have to, and like all the IVF clinics like will close down in December for cleaning of lab cleaning. So I'm like, and then you have to time your period and all this. So I'm like, I literally have like a month to decide or like to get it started. So that was a very traumatic experience because it was like I lost one due to thaw. I lost one.
Daisy's pissed about it, by the way. She's like,
Daisy's
fuck
like,
this.
I know.
Well, and then so like, will they not reimburse you?
They had offered free services.
But you're like, I'm not.
Yeah. So, and that was like a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to make things right, but we had to decide to switch clinics and that was really hard for me because your doctor is so personal. Like you're like, I've been going through this with this doctor and it wasn't my doctor who made the mistake. Mm-hmm. And I will say to anybody going through IVF, like the lab is the most important part of the process because you can like your doctor, you can like all the things, but the lab has control over your embryos and what's happening to them. And, you know, so I like when we switched clinics, I was like, I need to speak directly to the lab director. Like I came in hot.
Smart. Good
I was
for
like,
you.
but I was like, I want to know your protocol. I want to know. And this is what I tell people now. When you're going into something you don't know, you feel like really timid because you feel like you're the patient and you don't know what you don't know. So just listen and do what they tell you to do. Like do your research, talk to people that have done it and like go in being like, this is how I want to be treated. This is the communication I need. This is like, I need to see this in writing before this happens. Cause I've heard now since like sharing my story, I've heard so many other people go through multiple versions of crazy because regulation is not what it should be. So I'm just like, that's why I started sharing my story about it was just like, you have to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much like, it's like so much heartbreak and trauma that you're going through. And it's kind of like, well, and it's like, well, okay.
I mean, it's already hard enough going through IVF, right?
Yeah.
And like going through like, okay, I need to do this like next step in order to get pregnant.
Yes.
You're already like vulnerable for that situation. And then I can't even imagine. I mean, that was your baby. I mean,
yeah, I'm like, and these are like your chances, and you're like,
yes.
And you just decided, like, I only really had one, and then I
Right.
miscarried. So I did decide to start over, which, again, when you switch a clinic, you have to do all the paperwork and all the intake and all of the, it's like, here we go. Mm-hmm. But I felt really, like, empowered going in. Not that I wanted to do another round, but I was like, I know what I need to do.
Right.
I know this isn't going to be easy, but I knew I wanted another baby. And that's another thing. You'll get criticism when you have a baby already and you go through all this. People are like, well, why do you go through all that? And it's like, well, it's like with anything. If you envision a job or whatever, it's like, that's what I want for my life.
Right.
And so I'm going to go after it. So,
and also people need to stop being so critical of one another. Like,
yeah,
the world has already got enough shit going on.
Right. Like,
also for women, let's like empower each other. Like,
for sure.
I'm so over that, like, critical and like it's like let's empower one another. Like I think that's amazing that you're like, I want to have another baby and I'm gonna do this. Obviously it was not an easy road for you to get pregnant
right
with your second, but it's
Yeah.
like good for you.
Right. I'm like, I want Coco to have a buddy, you know.
And you
it's
shouldn't
like,
have to like even make excuses, right?
no, I know, to even explain, and I'm not somebody that usually justifies, but I'm like, I also like, I feel like I always say it for other women because there's so many people that go through this and just like suffer in silence and take the heat, and it's like, just leave them alone. Like they're going through something. Yes, there's so many people going through it, and that's a whole other topic of like environment, all of that, because it didn't used to be that way. But it's like people that are choosing to go through this are going through hell. Like it's like it's not fun. It's not like nobody's choosing this, you know.
Right.
There's so much debate. It's like nobody wants to do IVF, nobody wants to do IUI, nobody wants to, you know, have a surrogate. You know, some people do, but like as an option for infertility. So I just feel for so many
Yes.
women. But when I switched clinics, I went in and I just felt like so much better. Like,
oh, good.
And it was probably because it was really hard for me to leave the other clinic, but I'm like, I'm walking into a fresh space. There's no like
Yes.
PTSD.
Yes.
I'm seeing new people. And so, yeah, so I did another retrieval and got another, 4 embryos. And then I had a chemical pregnancy, which I didn't know what a chemical pregnancy was, and I'm a woman, but it's when it implants, but then it doesn't continue to grow. So like my HCG rised a little bit, but they were like, it's not enough for it to sustain pregnancy. So I went through one transfer, and then my second transfer was my daughter now, who's almost 7 months.
Gosh.
So I'm like, we got there.
Yes,
we got there. And then we decided we donated our other 2 to science. So you can either donate them to families, or you can dispose of them altogether, or you can donate them to science. So you have to, like, when you start, it's like, if both of you die, what do you want to happen to them? If one of you dies, if you divorce, like, you have to, like, fill out you're like, wait.
You're like, also, I appreciate this paperwork.
Yeah. I was just like, wow, we're really thinking about
all the things.
And you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I want that to happen, but.
So
yeah.
When you got pregnant with your daughter, and I mean, I've met her, she's so she seems like the chillest, happiest.
She is, yeah.
She's so cute.
She's like, I know what you've been through.
Yes.
So I'm going to just.
She seems so happy, so
I know.
chill.
Our babysitter tonight hasn't met her, but she's known what I went through, and she's like, oh my God, she's here. It makes me want to cry.
Yes.
And I was like, it's just so sweet how people have, like,
yes.
I don't know, like, people have been, like, followed our journey, and, like, are just, like, so happy that our family is, like, complete. You know, and some people are probably like, oh God, finally she can stop talking about it. But yeah, it's just been, like, really sweet. And I've, like, created a community around it. I started the Infertility Inner Circle. Amazing. So I kind of, like, put my events brain and, you know, I would sit in these lobbies of these clinics, and I'm like, everybody's on forums. People are on Reddit. People are on these Facebook forums, and it is so, like, spirally and, like, toxic.
Informational overload, probably.
Yeah, and, like, these people, I'm like, you guys just need to be I was like, I need to start something where people can, like, be together.
Right.
In the same room. Not necessarily always talking about what they're doing. Some of the stuff we do, but other times it's just like, let's just have a dinner, and then we know that everybody there is either going through it or
that's
and it's just like this,
amazing.
like, it's like a support group, you know. It's like if you've gone through grief, or you've got, it's like, this is for people who have gone through infertility, or supporting people that have gone through infertility. So I started that in April of last year.
Amazing.
And so,
how's it going?
Great. It's amazing. We have our World IVF Day walk on July 25th. So it's just like, I haven't really been, it was monthly, but since having my baby, I was like, I've just kind of thrown myself into that. And I'm like, it's okay. We're not doing things right now, but July 25th on World IVF Day, we are doing our walk. So it just feels good to, like, turn it into, you know, purpose and help other people that are going through it. And so my DMs are filled with people like, you know, I just tested, I am pregnant, or I'm waiting, or, you know, I don't think I am. And so I have a lot of, like, really meaningful connections with women that I probably will never meet, but I never had anybody to talk to about it, you know. And it's like, when you're kind of like, I'm just doing this, you know.
So now, I mean, it's, like, amazing how you're helping so many other people who have, you know, are going through it and don't have normally someone to talk to, and now they have you, which I think is just huge. And I think, you know, women, it's like, I feel like there's so much pressure on us, like, as mothers, as wives, as partners. And I think for you to be vulnerable, like, hey, I've gone through this, you know, this is my story. I think is so helpful to a lot of other women who are going through it, where it's like, this is okay. It's okay that you're going through this. Like,
and it's, like, very, like, some people, I would have people come up to me at the clinic and be like, I follow you. My family doesn't even know. Like, people won't tell their family, or there is a lot of people, it's male factor infertility. So it's like immotile sperm or low sperm count. And so then we've had partners come to these events, and that's really cool to, like, see, like, that. 'Cause it's like, we were in therapy, but it will test a relationship. Like, when you're timing everything, the money you're spending on it, people take, you know, second mortgages out on their homes. It's just, like, really sad, because you just see, you like see these people's dreams, but then you also see the wear and tear on the individual and like the couple. So
Absolutely.
It's sad, but I'm like, I've seen some really like, there's a lot of people from the Infertility Circle like community that are like all pregnant right now, like doing the end of the year, and it's just exciting to be like, oh my God, it's happening for everybody. So
like adding more babies into
and also
it.
to be like, science is cool, like have babies through IVF. Like if you had my 2 daughters next to each other, you wouldn't be like, that's the one from science and that's the one from sex, and it's like, and it's cool. Like my daughter watched me like do all my injections, and she would sit with me, and now she thinks that like babies are created like through needles. She's like, I don't think I want to have a baby because like they're so many needles. I go, well, there's not typically a lot of needles. And then I had a C-section. She's like, I don't want that. I was like, well, normally babies come from your vagina.
Right.
So,
which is so funny because my daughter, my 9-year-old, told me the other day, she's like, I think I want a C-section because I don't want to push anything out of my butthole. I was like, it's not from your butthole, but
there are a lot of holes. You got to figure out which one, but it's
totally
not coming out that one.
Not that one. Yeah, close. But
so funny. It's just kids. I know. I'm like, but it's just like so cool to like have them be exposed to it.
Yes.
And like Coco has like a necklace that she wears for Winslow, and like somebody was like at the pool, like she's like, this is my sister, she's in heaven. And it's just like really sweet that she like, we were just at the pool the other day, and there was a mom was like, what are your daughter's name? She's like, Esme and Winslow. I was like, and it's not a common name. I lived in Australia, and there was an actress named Winslow Bright, and I was like, what a cool name, I
love that name.
And so then I'm like, oh my God, I met my first like Earthside Winslow, but it was just like kind of like a little nod.
That's such a beautiful,
like the fries and the cardinal.
Yes, exactly. So how was it being, once you found out you were pregnant with Campbell? How was that experience for you?
It was good. I was excited, and that's like another thing too. Is like you have to like think about every time is like a new experience. Right. I kept on reminding myself like, IVF is a thing because it's supposed to work, right? Like, the losing an embryo at thaw, that was like a 5% chance. Losing a baby to an umbilical cord stricture was 1%. Like, things aren't supposed to happen to you, So I'm like, I really had to get out of my head with like, when am I going to feel comfortable? But I feel like I felt more comfortable because they had me at a specialist. I was at my OB, and then I was at a specialist for people that going through IVF, and then also just having multiple loss. So this doctor in Minneapolis, she's in Edina, Dr. Jacobs, like incredible. So like they like showed me the baby. They looked at every organ. They looked at everything, and then they even could look at the umbilical cord and like the blood flow and like So it was just like I could see basically everything, and they were like, everything looks great. Like they saw me until I was like 32 weeks. So I think because I was literally at the doctor every week, and I was like, I don't care. I'll be here every week with IVF here at the doctor, like every couple of days anyway. Yes. So it was amazing. But then when I had her, I had a C-section, but then I ended up having blood clots, and so they had to reopen me up, not on the operating table. I went in and they thought there was going to be one. They like opened me up, and they're just like removing blood clots, and my husband like went white and was like gonna pass out and they're like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like I feel like I was like in a different country, like having my organs harvested. Oh my gosh. And they just kept doing it. So then I had to leave it open because I can't suture back up. So I was walking around after I gave birth to her with just like gauze stuck in this.
Stop it. What, were you in the hospital?
No, they send you home. They just sent me home, and they were like, we'll just put a thing over it, and then you're gonna have to. And then again, I was not. What's it called? You're supposed to get in-home care, but I was not cleared for that because I wasn't homebound. And I was like, I had a C-section. I can't drive, and I have an open wound. So I had to drive to my OB who doesn't do wound care. So then they had to like refer me to this clinic in St. Paul that was like, I mean, it was just, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I thought I was going to be done with the doctor, and now I'm at the doctor every day changing my dressing. So finally I had my friend who's amazing. She used to be an OB nurse. She's like, I'll just come over and do it for you. And we would just laugh. We called it my hammerhead shark mouth because it was just this open.
I cannot believe they sent you home like that.
And then they just stuff it with stuff, and then it just eventually closes up. I was like, this is going to close up, right?
It closes up on its own?
Yeah, and then so like they'd measure it, they'd put a little stick in and be like, well, we're at 2 centimeters or whatever, and then and it just kept closing, and then all of a sudden it just closed itself up. the body's wild.
The body is wild.
So I feel like I've just been through like everything. Yes. I'm like, do you need advice on
seriously
how to get
anything
through
and everything?
Yeah, baby.
Well, and now you are in like the best fucking shape. Like, what is going on here? I'm like, you're posting these videos. I'm like, you have like a 12-pack and muscles, and I'm like, your baby's like how old? I'm like, I have like a 5.5-year-old, and I'm like.
Well, I worked out this pregnancy, which again in IVF they'll give you all these restrictions, and I said I'm gonna need to stay sane, and I love working out and moving my body, so I'm like, can I do more than what you're telling me? And they're kind of like, yes, and be careful kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I worked out through 37 weeks with Coco. Didn't at all. I laid on the couch and ate croissants. Because I was like, well, it's a pandemic, and this, I don't know. This is what people do.
Yeah, right.
So this time I was like, I need to stay like, because all of this stuff, like, I'm a chill person, but it's made me a little cuckoo bananas. Like, I need, I'm on Zoloft now, and like all the things, like, life has happened to me.
Yes.
So, and just like stress and all the things, but working out has been like my go-to for like, I go in a room wherever I am working out, nobody needs me. Nobody needs anything from me. I can, like, just let it rip.
Yes.
I can be, like, I'm a complainer when I work out. I swear when I work out. It's just, like, almost like this, like, cathartic. Yes. Like, I have, like, my talk therapy. Then I say it's, like, my physical, like, therapy. So I think this time I credit it to myself, like, working out for 37 weeks. And although I gained, like, 60 pounds in my pregnancies, it's just what my body does. I now, like, didn't start from square one. Like with Coco, I had to like rebuild my strength, and I like felt so out of shape. This time it was like, yes, I had a lot of extra weight on my body and didn't feel like I was like that mobile, but my strength came back like faster than I thought.
That's great.
And also I did not breastfeed this time. I breastfed with Coco, and I know that people will say that you lose weight breastfeeding. I gained weight because your body turns your fat into milk.
Right.
So I think also the fact that I had been on like hormones for so long with IVF, and then I chose not to breastfeed this time, that my body, I think, just like went back to like
kind of what
because I see so many women that are breastfeeding, they're like, well, I feel like I can't. I'm like, if you're gonna breastfeed, like I feel like you just have to like, accept that. And some people do lose weight breastfeeding, but I just don't think that's the norm. Like that was like what we were fed. Like you burn 500 calories. You're also eating a ton to like sustain the life,
Right.
So it's like if people choose to breastfeed, and I'm like, just feed your baby. And my mental health with Coco was not good because I was not producing a lot. So this time I'm like, I'm doing a C-section because I don't want a 43-hour birth.
Yep.
And then I am also just doing formula, and in the hospitals they will like kind of try to sway you, and I'm like, nope. And even my water broke this time, and it did not with Coco. They're like, do you want to try natural? I go, nope, I don't. I would like
to. You really have to be your own advocate with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy to me.
Totally. It's like either be open-minded to like whatever, or like know really what you want. And just like go in there, and because it's like, I remember my husband kept telling me like, we are paying them. Like, they're not paying us to be here. Like we are paying them to like deliver this baby. So it's like, tell them what you want. Pretend you're in a hotel or something, and just ask for what you deserve. You're like, because we're going to get the bill.
1,000%. And I think, the breastfeeding thing, I think, is so hard. And I remember so I was the same way. Like, I did not produce milk at all. Like, and I remember with my first, I worked so hard, and it was, like, miserable, and I tried to do it for as long as I could, but it just like, same, like my mental health wasn't great. And then with my last one, she was not gaining weight. Like she was just not gaining weight.
I went stressful.
In, it's so stressful. And I went in at, 2 weeks, and I love our she's not there anymore, but I loved our pediatrician so much. And she said to me, she's like, so this is what we're going to do. Like, you've breastfed her for 45 minutes. She's only taken an ounce. Like, we're going to be done breastfeeding. You're okay. Mm-hmm. Like, a fed baby is a fed baby. And that's all that matters. And, like, if you want to pump if you can. Yeah. If you want to do formula, like, a fed baby is a happy baby. That's, like, all what matters. And I remember just, like, I was literally bawling to her. It was, like, I needed someone just to tell me, like, it's okay. Like, you're okay. Like, you don't like, because I mean, I just remember like, I'm like, she's not gaining weight, like she's losing weight, like what do I do?
And like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and so you
like,
feel so much guilt about it.
Yeah, and like there's not a lot, I think more so now, but I just remember being like, there's not a lot of moms, even like of friends, I'd be like, yeah, don't do it. Like, they're like, well, do you want to, and my mom would be like, do you want to try again? I said, I don't want to try again.
Yes.
I need to wait till my lactation appointment, because if I try to put her on there and she's throwing her head around and not, I'm like, I'm going to lose my goddamn
Totally.
You know, it's like, especially when
so
you're like,
stressful.
your hormones are already out of whack.
Yes.
Like, you're not in your right mind
Yes.
and you're like not sleeping and you're just like,
Totally.
And now it's like, there's so many options. And I do think people do still kind of push the breastfeeding. I mean, I get it. It's a natural thing, but it's actually not that natural. Any mom knows that it takes work in the beginning. Like, yeah, they have to learn how to latch. They have to, you know, your milk has to actually come in. Like, for me, it was like took a few days because of C-section, and Coco had like created like blisters on my nipples because she was like shallow latching. So like, you need to take a break or you're not. And I'm like, and then you take a break and the baby doesn't. And I'm like, this is too much.
Yes.
Like, so I'm like, Bobby formula. I'm like, I'm always out. People, you know, I'm like, I just feel people judging me all the time, like as I'm scooping, and I'm like, it's like protein powder.
Yes.
And she's living her best life. Like,
I just think, I think women need to stop judging each other.
Yes.
And we all need to like be kind of more of a united front, because
totally. It's like, I'm like, if you're a crunchy mom, I always say like, I'm not a crunchy mom. Like, you know, there's like very granola. I'm like, love you for that.
Exactly.
I'm not that. I'm going to do my thing. Exactly. You know, it's like, there's like a spectrum of what kind of mom you want to be. And that's what's fun.
Exactly.
It's
and
like,
also, it's like, I'm not, you know, if you want to breastfeed your kid for however long, like, good for you. But like,
doesn't affect my life.
It doesn't affect my life. Just like what I'm, you know.
Yeah.
And I did remember that, just like that, like weight off my shoulder. Like, okay, I can do bottles.
Right. And getting permission. You're like,
getting permission.
Great, this is so great.
Yes.
I remember one of Coco's teachers, preschool teachers, was like, you wouldn't know what kid is breastfed or what kid is formula fed. Like, they're like, you would never know.
Yeah.
They're all like,
they're all doing okay.
Yeah. And if they're not, like, your doctor will tell you, but it's like like our parents had to go back to work after like 6 weeks. My mom was like, and then I had to go to work. So,
and they didn't have pumps.
No.
I mean,
so it was like,
I think my mom said like she maybe breastfed me in the hospital, but then, you know, she had to go back. Yeah. She went back to work quickly, and like, they didn't have like breast pumps back then. So it's kind of like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So it's like, I'm all about like, do you. And I also think that's like a better, like, what I love about being like an older mom. I am like, I have so much like confidence in myself as I am like as a human in general.
Yes.
So like, decisions are easier to make for me now about like my kids. And I'm like, I don't care what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm doing this.
Exactly.
Like, I worked to get them here. I'm going to do.
You sure did.
I'm going to do whatever I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, seriously, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for coming on. You are like, honestly, I didn't know like the full story.
That's a lot.
I'm
always like,
but like, you are amazing, and I've seen you with your girls, and you're such a great mom to those girls, and you could tell like how much you love them and care about them, and how they're just like the cutest little humans.
Yes.
And they're here, and I'm so happy for you. And obviously, like, the journey to get there was not something you would wish on, you know, your worst enemy, but you went through it, and you know, you're a freaking rock star. Yeah,
it develops you as a person.
Yes.
It is my own story, and that's why I tell people it will happen for you in whatever way you want it to. And if you choose to stop and not keep going, that's also okay. But if you choose to like use science or use a surrogate or, you know, whatever way you choose, like, that is the best decision for you. And nobody else can tell you any different.
Yes.
So
well said.
Yeah.
So how can people find you if they want to connect?
Instagram, hey Liz Krueger. I haven't really gotten on the TikTok train. I need to, but it's just too.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
On Facebook for all of my boomers.
Yeah. A lot of dancing on those TikToks.
I know. I can't dance.
Yeah, I can't either.
mean, and it's like, it's just so quick. You have to produce so much. I get it. But yeah, hey Liz Krueger on Instagram is where you can find me. And I was just telling you that, like, I don't share my kids' faces on public stories anymore, but I do share family content on like my close friends, just for a little protection for the children.
So. Absolutely. I love that. And then the Infertility Circle can be found
on Instagram as well. Yep. So Infertility Inner Circle on Instagram, and I'll just post the events. Our World IVF Day walk on July 25th. It will be at the North Loop Playground to Stone Arch Bridge and back. So families are welcome, and we'll just celebrate infertility and all of the progress we've made and all of the things that we need to move it forward to. So
which it'll keep just getting better and better.
Yeah, if it was a man's only issue, we'd be there already. But
sure would.
But we're getting there slowly but surely. So
good. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, this was the best.
You're wonderful.
Yeah. Yes. Cheers to girl mom.
Cheers to girl mom.
Yeah, I love it.
and McDonald's French fries.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Friday. Is it Friday?
It's Friday. Well, it's like French Friday. Friday. And they're getting it's like Friday Eve.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So good.
Perfect. Cheers.